And so first I am placing this shape, this representation of an octahedron. An octahedron is a sacred geometric shape. It is basically two pyramids base to base that form an eight-sided shape. Its meaning in sacred geometry is too much to cover here, but basically it means safety, security, stability. And while I'm building this grid, I am sending this particular form to all of the areas hit by earth changes, earth problems, climate changes, and storms, and fires, and all of these things, and to all the people involved. I'm also putting an octahedron around the entire earth as my intention, with the feeling of safety and security as I do it. That's the most important part. I am putting this representation. It's a beautiful sodalite sphere, but I'm using that as my representation of the earth because look how much it looks like beautiful earth from outer space. So that's going to be the focus and the center of our grid. Next, I'm going to place black tourmaline in a grid around this. Now, black tourmaline forms in the hexagonal crystal system, which means six-sided. And so I'm going to place 6 black tourmaline on the edges around this grid. Bear with me as I hold the camera while I'm placing the stones. You'll get it. Okay, so there's that. These are the black tourmalines in the hexagonal pattern. Next, what I'm going to do is add a little rose quartz. Rose quartz for unconditional love. Now, first of all, the black tourmaline is to help clear this discordant vibration from Gaia. It's also getting rid of some of the negativity. It's grounding us. I mean, we are Gaia, part of Gaia in all her consciousness, and so many people are going into fear and drama when we have the ability to change all this, to talk to these storms, to talk to these fires, to talk to these earthquakes, and to make them less severe for everybody. And so that's what black tourmaline is about. Number one, it grounds us, connects us into Gaia's circuits, and it helps get rid of some of this negativity that's floating around the earth. Now, next of all, I'm going to put rose quartz. Rose quartz is for unconditional love. Love of Gaia, love of each other. This also forms in a hexagonal pattern. And so bear with me. I'm putting 6 of these around the grid. Again, your intention is the most important thing. And so I'm going to show you what we have now. We have 6 black tourmaline and 6 rose quartz. And I told you my intention for those. Rose quartz, unconditional love, the healing of our hearts, flowing, all that beautiful stuff. And really, rose quartz, I would love to put in any grid. Next, I'm going to put some aquamarine. We've been dealing with so much water. Aquamarine is all about going with the flow, about releasing what no longer serves us. And that's not only Gaia releasing things, but all of us. Again, we are all integrally connected. Aquamarine also forms in that 6-sided crystal system, so I'm going to put 6 of those. Again, we'll make it pretty and organize it here in a minute, but I am just putting 6 aquamarine crystals out, again, for the releasing, for going with the flow, releasing what doesn't serve us. Okay, aquamarine represents the water element, that flowing water element, as does rose quartz. And the black tourmaline, it represents the earth element. Next, I'm going to put in selenite. Selenite represents the air element. It forms in a crystal system called monoclinic, which is represented by 5 stones. It actually forms a prismatic shape that can be represented in 2D, which we're doing here, by 5. So a square with one in the middle. It doesn't matter where in the grid they go. I'm just making it beautiful. Okay, and so there's selenite. Selenite represents our higher self. We're evolving, all of us. All of humanity is evolving, and so putting that selenite in there just reminds us. It also transforms a lot of negative energy in the opposite way that black tourmaline does. Black tourmaline just gets rid of it and grounds it, turns it into neutral energy, whereas selenite actually changes the energy to a positive energy, raises the energy. Again, connecting us to that angelic being that we are when we're not here, our higher self. That's a beautiful thing, so that's why selenite's in there. Next, I'm putting celestite. Celestite is also in the monoclinic crystal system, so we're going to do it 5 of those. Okay, and celestite represents the air element, as does selenite. It connects us to the angelic realm. It reminds us that we are angelic when we're not here in human bodies, and to maybe start acting like it a little more. For those who aren't awakened, maybe it'll give a little push. Celestite is also extremely calming and soothing. And so many people are so upset and so much going on, and people just need to understand that everything is in divine order and to be calm. And let's do what we can. Instead of using the old energy ways of going into fear and drama, let's do what we can to band together, to be united, form a united front, and send love to all of these areas that are hard hit, and to send love to these storms and these fires and these earthquakes, because they are part of Gaia, and so they're also imbued with consciousness. And it's something we can all do as light workers. So that's why I chose celestite. Now I'm going to put in several different crystals that vibrate very much with the earth element and vibrate very much with Gaia. They help connect us to nature. That's part of the issue, is we have forgotten our connection with Gaia, with all of creation, and it's time that we remember that as light workers. So this will help us really, really connect into earth circuits and remember how much we love Gaia and how much Gaia loves us. So first I'm going to start with Rainforest Jasper. Again, a wonderful earth element stone that helps connect us into earth circuits. And this forms in a hexagonal crystal form also. So we need 6 of those. I'm just going to roughly put them around like this. Again, those are smaller. You can see I'll show everything when we're done, but that's why I did what I did. I'm going to also put tree agate, or dendritic agate. That also forms in a 6-sided hexagonal form. So I'm going to put 6 of those around in a rough grid. You can see I just put them kind of in the middle here. There we go. Okay. And next I'm going to put moss agate, another wonderful stone vibrating with that hexagonal crystal pattern, putting 6 of them. But this also helps connect us to nature and helps us remember that we are part of Gaia and all the kingdoms of Mother Earth. And so I'm going to put 6 of these and kind of just put them in this beautiful pattern. Again, we'll straighten everything up at the end. So far, that's how we're going. Okay, there's a few more stones I want to put in, and I'll tell you the reason why. So the first one is called pink manganocalcite. All calcites represent fire energy, but this particular one has a lot of water energy in it. And it balances that fire-water polarity that so many people suffer with and that Earth is going through. You know, look at the difference where there's fire and there's water. And there's too much fire and there's too much water. They are so out of balance at the moment. And so not only will it move some of that energy, but it will also kind of balance that water-fire polarity that's going on. Another thing that pink manganocalcite does is soothe. It's very, very calming to the emotional body and the energetic body. This also forms in a hexagonal crystal system, so I'm going to be using 6. Okay. Kind of space them out next to each other here. Sorry, it's hard to do while I'm holding the camera here. Okay, and so there's the pink manganocalcite. And now I'm also going to add clear optical calcite. Clear optical calcite, when you look through it, you see a double refractive image, and that's what is unusual about clear optical calcite. Calcite is always fire energy. Like I said, it helps to move energy very rapidly. And we need to move some of this energy rapidly. We need to speak to Gaia. We need to have these storms and these volcanoes and stuff either dissipate or go out into areas that are not so populated. And by dissipate, I don't mean stop. I mean to discharge the energy elsewhere so that it doesn't harm humans. Because it is a calcite, this also forms in a hexagonal crystal system. So I'm going to be putting 6. And we'll make it party like this. And then I'm just going to start sliding everything in so you can see this better. Okay. And so this is our grid. We could keep on going. Again, use whatever you have. There's no right or wrong. Your intention paves the way. That is the most important thing, is your intention. And so this is our crystal grid with our representation of Gaia in the middle. And to send some security and safety to our Earth, putting that sacred geometric form of the octahedron around Gaia, a representation of Gaia. And then I explained what all the stones are and why I put them where I did. And so we're just going to meditate on this and leave this up. Feel free to meditate on it. Take a picture of it. Now that I'm holding the camera still, you guys can see it. And I'll give you another view from here of this beautiful grid. Okay, and again, the feelings of safety and security to the Earth and all of those other qualities that I mentioned as I was building this grid. Again, this is Lori from Crystal Earth Magic, and thanks for being with me today.